Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Oji.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning?
Good.
Great. Good morning, Tundu Abiola.
Good morning, Okpe.
Thank you. Good morning, Rufai.
Morning, Oji.
Thumbs up. All right. Well, let's get into it. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, the Postal Service announced that it will issue a forever stamp on Wednesday, January 26th, honoring Edmonia Lewis, the first African-American and Native American sculptor whose 19th century marble sculptures gained her international acclaim. Lewis was born in 1844 in Greenbush, New York, to an African father and a Native American mother. Her artworks are held at the Smithsonian Museum. Lewis challenged social barriers and assumptions about artists in mid-19th century America. In the United Kingdom, Grenadier Guards are campaigning for the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, to replace the disgraced Duke of York, Prince Andrew, as their colonel after Queen Elizabeth II stripped him of his Royal Highness and military titles. In the event that the Duchess, who just celebrated her 40th birthday, is made colonel of the regiment, she will be the first appointed female colonel in the Grenadier Guards' 366-year history. In Nigeria, Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, announced over the weekend that the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, a multi-billion-dollar project expected to be Africa's biggest oil refinery and one of the world's biggest single-train facilities, will begin processing crude by the third quarter of 2022. Photos and videos of the president of the African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, and billionaire businessman Femi Otedola inspecting the site made the rounds on social media. Other sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria suffered a shocking 1-0 defeat by COVID-stricken Carthage Eagles of Tunisia, exiting the Africa Cup of Nations in the round of 16, while Tunisia advanced to the quarterfinal of the tournament. Finally, under entertainment, tributes pour in for French fashion designer Manfred Thierry Mugler, whose dramatic designs captured the hearts of global celebrities. Mugler launched his brand in 1973 and became known for his architectural style. The use of plastic-like futuristic fabric in his sculptured clothing became a trademark. He also had a popular perfume line, which he started in the 1990s. Mugler defined haute couture over several decades, dressing up legends like Diana Ross, Madonna, and Beyoncé at galas, on red carpets, and runways. He was 73 years old.
Oh, may his soul rest in peace. Let's begin what's trending with reactions to the shocking exit of the Super Eagles from the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations following the 1-0 defeat to Tunisia at the Omnisports Room de Adija Stadium in Cameroon on Sunday night. Nigerians took to Twitter to blame President Muhammadu Buhari for calling the team ahead of the game. Buhari, in a video call, had urged the team to keep on winning and showered praises on them for making Nigerians proud. One reaction that went viral was from author and activist Reno Omokri, who said he had warned the Nigerian Football Federation not to allow the president to speak to the team because he has bad energy for sporting activities. Let's take a listen before we take more reactions.
I had told the NFF not to allow General Muhammadu Buhari speak to the Super Eagles. Now, this wasn't politics. A lot of people thought it was politics. It's not politics. And then today, when I heard that he had spoken with them, I was really upset. I was quite sad. You see, you have to understand, look, people have energies. Whether we like it or not, it's a fact of life. People have energies. Whether you call it vibration, spirit, people have energies. Look, General Muhammadu Buhari, let's face it, the man has a bad energy. You know, he has the reverse of the Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to dust. Look at what happened with Anthony Joshua. And go back, I said the same thing with Anthony Joshua. Avoid this man. He didn't. He consulted with the man. Look at what happened. He lost. He lost to Alexander Usyk. And then the same thing with the previous AFCON. He did the same thing. And then our guys were eliminated. Look, this man, because look, there are things beyond the natural. You know, this man, there are things that people like I know. You know, and it's not everything we can say. This man, the places he's gone to, the kinds of marabouts he's been with, that's why we said, do not talk to these boys. Let them focus. He is a distraction. Who has Buhari? Now, this is a question I'm asking for Buhari supporters. Who has Buhari called and they have won, or it has been a positive effect on them? Who? The man, this is not luck, because I don't believe in luck. These are deep spiritual forces in action. And, you know, I'm very, very sad because this could have been averted. Anyway, you know, it has happened. And I pray that the NFF and other sports lovers, not just in football, anything, look, divorce this man from our sporting activities.
Well, more reactions follow the newly signed Watford goalkeeper Maduka Okoye for his role in Nigeria's exit at the ongoing tournament. Okoye failed to save Youssef Msakni's long-range strike 2 minutes after the start of the second half. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Oriel, who wrote, Okoye was able to catch the attention of almost every Nigerian woman, but couldn't catch a common shot. This guy has ripped us. Well, another user came to his defense and wrote, Maduka Okoye is a young goalkeeper and conceded a goal many other goalkeepers concede, even the best goalkeepers as well. He is young and growing, no matter how you want to look at it. He is Nigeria's best choice at the moment. He's a Watford goalkeeper. Let's cut him some slack. Let's cut this guy some slack. I mean, you know, he was trending on social media, seriously, obviously because of his appeal, his sex appeal, I guess. He's such a gorgeous young man, if you can pull up some of his pictures. But they were saying he was so distracted and he couldn't catch the goal. They were blaming him and blaming the president as well. Tundra Viola.
Well, I don't know. Who was it that said? I can't remember the author. I'm so sorry. I wish I could remember. The same crowd that cheers your coronation is the same crowd that cheers your beheading. So I hope he takes a detached view of all of this, both the praise and criticism. I'm going to quote Rudyard Kipling again from If. You have to treat triumph and disaster as imposters. So I hope he's detached from it. I'm sure the team is incredibly disappointed. The team and all those who support them, the coaches, everybody. They must be incredibly disappointed. But it was a team effort and a team failure. You can't really blame just the one individual, surely. And you certainly cannot blame President Buhari, who is sitting in Abuja, made a phone call. I know we're quite a superstitious bunch, and sports athletes, generally, even the most elite athletes, can be superstitious. They want the specific pair of underpants. I mean, you've heard about those tennis players, right? You've heard they have this particular ritual that they will follow to the T because it's been lucky in the past. So this is how sports people behave, I guess. But I hope that's actually a joke. I'm going to take that as tongue-in-cheek. Surely that's not serious.
Oh, it's so unfair. You should look at the reactions on his social media. Really unfair. Horrific comments underneath. And I thought that was not... It was uncalled for.
With regard to Reno Omokri, Reno Omokri is a self-confessed Buhari hater. And he says so on social media. And on several occasions, he will target, you know, a Buhari hater. So in other words, if a man says he hates President Buhari, you cannot expect anything, you know, that will be complimentary of, that will look like a compliment to President Buhari. Second, he talks about energy. Yes, people, you know, who are into these spiritual things, they talk about aura, they talk about energy, they talk about spiritual implications. But in 1985, and I hope people will not start criticizing me that I'm defending President Buhari. Yeah, President Buhari was head of state when Nigeria won the under 15 World Cup.
Under 25.
The under 25 World Cup. So was his energy, was it not under 16 World Cup?
Kodak tournament.
Okay. Now, which was the same man at that time. Okay, is this same man with this same energy that has done these rice pyramids?
Exactly.
That people have been celebrating. So it depends on who is talking and where you are coming from. And if you look at it, I made a point earlier on that it's just that Nigerians are bad losers when it comes to football. Football, which has been described as perhaps the most concrete unifying factor in Nigeria. When Nigerians are playing football, they don't remember their ethnicity. They don't remember politics. They just want the country to win. I have not seen many examples many situations whereby Nigerians will say, oh, Nigeria should lose at a football tournament. But after the football, they can start fighting, you know, and suddenly remember geography and ethnicity and religion, which is one of the major paradoxes that we deal with in this country. And in the spirit of sports, when Nigeria loses, people should just accept it and move on. Lose some, win some. That's the spirit of football. Egwanvoye, the coach himself, has blamed the referee for poor officiating. You mentioned Maduka Okoye, who was praised only a few days
ago
by all the women in Nigeria, and they were saying, please leave this goalkeeping and come. We need you in some other situations. Okay, he lost just in this particular instance, and he's been referred to as a fine, useless boy that should go back to his fashion business. Horrible. I don't think it's fair. I mean, even some of the excellent goalkeepers in that tournament, they've lost you know, either penalty spot kicks, as it is called, or some other things. So even Desmond Elliott has been dragged into this matter. I don't know what Desmond Elliott's matter is. They say no, blame Desmond Elliott. It's because of Desmond Elliott that we lost this match. What is the connection? So Nigerians are just, he's an actor. He's not a footballer. So I won't be surprised if after this program, they say it was Okpe.
No, it can't be. It's Ruben.
Because he was calling Maduka Okoye a fine boy.
But he is.
And she was rolling her eyes while she was doing so.
He's a really
So that's the kind of thing that you have
Dr. Abatia.
So for me, let's learn to take responsibility and move forward. Reno Omokri is beginning to sound like Mommy Gio.
Mommy Gio.
And it has to be said, the president did what he had to do to encourage the players. If he didn't do it now, some Nigerians will say, oh, he didn't encourage the boys. We all know here how we're rooting for the basketball girls to get a presidential handshake.
Yes.
So if he didn't call the boys now, they will say something else. Say, you might have things against the president, but you see, well, let's be factual, let's be not biased. You can have plural thoughts, you might not agree with him, but it's not the president's fault. And I don't know where Reno is seeing spirits or energy.
It says bad energy.
He's the one that is the energy reader. He's the one that knows where bad energy lies.
I was quoting some scriptures too.
I beg you, leave all of that. It's beginning to sound like it's creepy stuff. It's like Mommy Gio kind of stuff. If Mommy Gio talk that, the same Mommy Gio stuff.
Job 32, verse 8.
That's right.
So Reno Omokri is a pastor.
So he's the one. He's the only one I know about Christ is that Christ is love, and love is shared everywhere. Love doesn't know bad energy. Once you're in the fold of Christ, you see everybody in love. That's what the gospel that I know taught me.
Yes.
Not picking some people and condemning them for have bad energy. We should stop the politics aside. What was the crux of the matter? At first, the Super Eagles was not well prepared. This is the same Super Eagles we said, Nigerians forget in a hurry. How we never gave the Super Eagles a chance before this tournament. Because they sacked the coach weeks to the tournament, and nobody gave them a chance. But Augustine Eguavoen came in and stabilized the team. Kudos to him for that. Let's not forget that. This was the same man that we're saying, oh, maybe he just continued the job. He's satisfied and he stabilized the team. We now have a team that we can build on for other tournaments. That's a positive. Yes, Tunisia had better gamesmanship than us. Maybe we underrated them. Maybe there were a lot of distractions. Yeah, maybe it wasn't the day for Maduka Okoye. Maybe we could have done better with the substitution and all of that. But Tunisia had a better game. They won. Then it is time for us to move on. Because you see, what is more important to us now should be March, when we'll play Ghana in the playoffs to be able to make it to the World Cup finals. Right. And that's what we should focus on. And introspect of what we can do a lot better for the team. Stop apportioning blames. I mean, this is not, I mean, these are, you know, some people will say Mommy Gio kind of talk. What is all of this now? You're saying somebody has bad and if somebody says the same about, would you be happy?
I will keep saying
Christ is love. Christ doesn't know bad energy or anything.
Our team.
Yeah, congratulations to the boys.
Well, we shall take another story. While celebrating Simidele Adeagbo's victory in the women's monobob at the Europe Cup in Germany last week, becoming the first African male or female to win an international sled race after topping the podium in Winterberg. Adeagbo also made history in 2018 when she took part in the skeleton competition at the Winter Olympics in South Korea, becoming not only the first Nigerian to compete at the Winter Olympics, but also the first African to compete in that event. When she was announced winner at the monobob race in Germany, Adeagbo proudly draped the Nigerian flag at the podium presentation to receive her trophy. Oh, well, what can I say? Feel good story. Why not? Congratulations to her. I am so proud to be woman at this moment.
Yes, so am I. She gave me all the warm fuzzies. And you know what was reported is that they didn't have a Nigerian flag.
Yes.
She bought her own flag. Wow. And that just, for me, speaks volumes about her. I don't know if she was a Girl Guide, because it's the Boy Scouts, isn't it? The motto, be prepared, that Robert Baden-Powell. But it just speaks to her faith in herself and the lack of faith in her that the organizers had. And generally, I don't think it's personal, but just generally, I guess it's not going to be assumed that somebody of Nigerian origin would excel in winter sports. But look at what she has done. So it's just even more special than the usual sort of track, sort of, athletics that we tend to excel at, football, that she has really gone and conquered new territory and put the Nigerian flag in this new territory is excellent. She's done us so proud. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations.
No, you cannot be more correct. Professor Akintarin was. It was not just that she had to get her own flag. There was even no Nigerian national anthem.
Yeah.
Which is an indication that the effort she has made in this regard was actually just an individual effort, completely unknown to the sporting authorities in Nigeria. And that's one important part of it. We run an absent-minded, governance system, whereby many Nigerians who are doing very well in other parts of the world, Nigeria has no tracking system, has no connection with them. Even when they try to connect with the Nigerian system, nobody offers them any help. Look at even the ones in the U.S., the basketball team, the kind of disgraceful...
The Tigers.
Yes, the kind of disgraceful altercation that we witness between those young ladies and the Nigerian authorities. Okay, I think somebody will pay attention to that and reach out to Ms. Adeagbo and realize that these are the kind of people who project Nigeria positively on the international stage. These are the diamonds that President Buhari was referring to in the October 2021, October speech, October 1 Independence Day speech. I hope somebody will have enough intelligence, in the government corridors to at least even send her a letter of congratulation and appreciation. And these are the kind of people we want to see on national honors list.
Yes.
Not distracted and undisciplined traditional rulers with flowing gowns, or civil servants who have been promoted beyond their level of competence, going to the presidency to go and collect national honors that they do not deserve. So there's a problem indicated by the failure of the system. The other part of it is that, yes, she has made history, excellent history at the individual level. In 2018, she took part in the skeleton competition in South Korea, the first Nigerian to do so, the first African to do so. And now here in Germany, she has won this medal, and she's the first African, the first Nigerian to do so, the first female in Africa to do so, in a sport, in a category that is not popular in Nigeria. I'm sure if you ask the people in the sports ministry of Nigeria what is the bobsled, they have no idea. They have no clue. So all of this is also tied to how we develop talent, how we develop sports in Nigeria. Even if we want to do the bobsled in Nigeria, we don't have the facilities, do we?
No, we don't. Good point, Dr. Abati.
Real quickly, because I have a lot to say on this.
Okay.
And I'm really very passionate about bobsled. Since the time we had our Nigerian girls represent Nigeria at the Winter Olympics for bobsleigh. And it was individual sponsorship that helped them a great deal. Kudos to a bank, I don't want to toot their horn, that put a lot of money down for them and helped them to be able to get to the tournament and all of that. But the shocking thing for me is that since then, nobody has done something to be able to put up structures in place. You know what that means? Nigeria has been representing the Winter Olympics for a sport that nobody put structures on ground for. And somebody will have thought that we should at least have a program, even if it's something to dole out cash to these people, independently paying their own money into competitions to represent Nigeria. So I think going forward, to be able to enjoy the bite of the cherry, you might say, okay, we should have a proper structure to support people that are doing bobsleigh. Because they are going out there, they're carrying the Nigerian flag and making Nigeria proud.
Absolutely.
And kudos to them. But it comes back to our organization here. And this is the true Nigerian spirit. Because like those girls, nobody gave them a chance. They went out there, they pushed for qualification, they did everything possible.
I remember.
And they went to the Winter Olympics, and that's a big one. Nigerians are champions, we're giants. I just hope we have champion leadership to produce more champion people in this country.
Well said, Rufai. We shall take our final story in Turkey, where a well-known journalist, Sadef Kabas, was sent to prison for allegedly insulting the country's president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Kabas was arrested in Istanbul on Saturday following a live interview on the opposition TV channel Tele 1. A court ordered her to be jailed ahead of trial. Kabas was accused of targeting President Erdogan. With a proverb which she quoted on live television, she allegedly made references to Erdogan without actually calling his name. The famous proverb reads, "A crowned head gets wiser," but we see that it is not true. Allegedly in reference to Erdogan's nearly 20 years in power. She then said, when a cattle enters a palace, he will not be a king, but that palace becomes a barn. In her court statement, Kabas denied intending to insult the president. The allegation charge carries a prison sentence of between 1 and 4 years. Reacting to the news, Reporters Without Borders, a non-profit media watchdog, said no less than 200 journalists were prosecuted and 70 journalists were sentenced on similar charges since Erdogan was elected president in August 2014. I mean, this is so absurd. I cannot even imagine this happening in Nigeria. He is such a dictator, and we have to keep speaking about this issue. Over 200 journalists persecuted for what?
That's how you thank God you're not in Turkey.
Yes.
And all over the world, not just Turkey. They're called lèse majesté laws. If you offend or insult the monarch or the state, you will go to jail. Like Thailand, there are people who've been sentenced to 80 years. All over the world, really. Well, we don't have that here. What we do have here, though, is the cybercrime laws. Remember when, I believe it was Omoyele Sowore, that was accused of insulting President Buhari, but that wasn't lèse majesté. That was the cybercrime law here is about insulting anybody. When you transmit information that is false and insults or upset somebody, you can be charged under that act. So we don't have, our president or whatever as an untouchable in this way. But Erdogan is so ruthless. There's a man who is in his 70s who's in jail. What for? Sending subliminal messages about the president, which is what this lady has been accused of doing, because she didn't name him at all.
No, she didn't. Apparently, it's not even her first time, really. She's been in the limelight for a while now, going to jail back and forth, insulting the president, apparently or allegedly. I don't know if we have much time to comment.
Under French jurisprudence, they use the lèse majesté rule, which is when you insult the sovereign. In UK, in the inherited common law jurisdiction that Nigeria has, is called sedition. In the 1940s, in the first phase of the 1940s, the UK abolished sedition. Even in Nigeria here, people are still being charged for sedition, which is a dead law in the place we inherited it from. But in the case of Turkey, to go quickly to the main subject, Erdogan is an authoritarian ruler, whether it has to do with the economy or it has to do with the freedom of expression. In this particular case, this journalist, she was arrested for an innuendo. It's called innuendo because she did not mention the man's name. But no, innuendo can also be a ground for sedition. But she was summarily, sentenced to a term of imprisonment because what you have is an intolerant system. And that is why you have organs like the Committee to Protect Journalists, always talking about how the right to freedom of expression is being abused in parts of the world. Here in Nigeria, Omoyele Sowore has been indicted for the same reason. One journalist called Zaradin in Katsina State was also harassed for the same reason. In Kaduna State, we have had persons being taken to court because they had the effrontery to criticize those people who see themselves as the sovereign.
Thank you, guys. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. See you tomorrow.